Get on to our Mbawula Chat. Yo, I'm looking forward to this. We're going to have a Mbawula Chat, which is going to be facilitated by Bulelani Balabala. But I have the privilege of introducing the gentleman that will be part of the Mbawula Chat, who we're going to hear from. Those of you who love listening to radio, I mean, you'll know him. From YFM, to Metro FM, to Kaya FM. Who am I talking about? T-Bose. Hey, that show sometimes I go on. You know, sometimes when you're driving with your parents, because some of the topics that he discusses, hey, you'll be driving, you're like, oh, let me switch over to the other one. Who is he for those of you who don't know him? Mr. Thabo Tbose Mokwele has been blessed with business acumen to admire. A philanthropist, glorious gift of the gab, with a successful career following his passion from radio. He started out at YFM, and 2 years later, he became the best wake-up call with the breakfast show on Metro FM. You'll find out more about his story, but this is what I love. He's the founder of Friends of T-Bose Education Foundation, an organization that has tasked itself with funding tertiary education students from rural and impoverished backgrounds, as well as building, equipping learning facilities, laboratories, and libraries. So beyond the radio, there's a heart for people, there's a heart for the community, and there's a heart to make sure that we as entrepreneurs do not give up on what we do. He's with us in the building. We're going to hear from him, his story, and what he's up to, and how not to give up. I've said a lot. I'm going to leave the stage up to him. Mr. T-Bose, Thabo, please can you come on stage? Come on, ladies and gentlemen, at your show, let's show some love. Please can we just get up on our legs? Please can we get up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get up and show. You know, oh, they say we need to give our legends their flowers while they're still with us. This is an opportunity. At Trishville, come on, we can do more. Let's show some love. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the legend himself, Thabo Tbose Mokwele. Thank you, sir. You can have a seat. Right. This will be facilitated by Bulelani Balabala. Mr. Get Things Done. Gentlemen, take the stage and let's rock. Yeah. Oh.
One. My sound. Yeah. Da 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 da.
1, 2. This one is on. Which one is on there?
Okay, cool. It keeps cutting. Maybe just yeah. But it just tells you. I mean, if the mic gears that are brand new are not working, then it's not the mic gears, it's the legend. It's the legend. How many of you guys know this amazing gentleman? So for a moment in time, I want you to pretend like you don't know him. You've heard nothing about him. And amazing. I mean, it's a super honor for me. So the Mbawula Chat is a segment on our program where we speak to a dynamic, not an individual, but a dynamic pioneer, a history maker, you know, someone who's not just left an indelible imprint, you know, on the books of history, but has impacted lives, you know, all the way from delivery speed to skinny smooth socks, to batu, to turbo jeans, to lazy makoti. Yeah. A gentleman I really, you know, respect. But not just a world-class producer, bro, not just a radio producer, a broadcaster of note, an author, a father, and an amazing, someone I regard as a Khotman. Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So let's pretend we don't know you, we've never heard you, we don't know anything about you. I'd like for you to introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you're about.
Do you have the whole day? Hi, guys. I'm Thabo, born in Soweto, raised in Tembisa. A chemical engineer by training, but radio became my passion, and that's what I followed. And whilst I was doing radio, and this will also go back into what I've just had with the pitch and what the brief I got from Bulelani as well. As much as you are on that train or you have found your path, unfortunately there has to be an uncomfortable question you must answer, which is why? Why am I on air? And that's why brand development, personal development became sort of a passion for me. Because you see, as a people, as a country, 30 years still, we're still faced with the same challenge. The challenge is, are we confident enough to go into spaces and play big? And if we are not, what is one of the cornerstones of our economy? What can it do to help facilitate that? And that being media. And therefore, the question on why came about. So, Thabo, Wana Betili Jonas, you have this airtime that you're using 3 hours every single day. How are you going to, the day you decide to go and hang the microphone, how are you going to be remembered, if any? Or what impact are you going to do? Or how are you going to use this platform to impact lives? Like you mentioned, I'm very passionate about local brands. I have time for them on my show, especially if your story is right. Because we do not buy products. We do not buy brands. We buy the story behind the product and the brand. The reason why you are in business is the reason why we give you our money and support. And if your why is this not strong enough, I am telling you now, it's going to be very difficult to convince us to remember you, to be top of mind, to then when I have, even if I don't have money or I have little money, to drive to where you are, to find you where you are, than to go to your competition. It is the why. So why are you listening to T-Bose, not listening to other shows? What are you getting? Why is Bulelani Balabala, Ntwanako Kasi Tembisa? I mean, you've been doing this thing for how long? For years. 8 years now. Congratulations. Only last year you were on my show. Because your vision, your why became stronger. It became beyond you. It was no longer about Bulelani trying to survive or to help the next door neighbor. It was more about creating a ripple effect to the economy, to society, beyond your time and years. And that is a story worth telling. Tsepo Jeans, another story, right? There he is. Do you see what I'm telling you? It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with what I'm seeing happening around us. And I think it was Raymond Ackerman who said it best. Pick and Pay, Pep, and Ackermans, they were not started because of money only. Yes, we all start businesses because we want money. But he then soon realized, hey, I need to help people. And how do I do that? How do I, from this one Pick and Pay store, take it closer to the people? Because they mustn't travel too far to reach the things that they need. You must look at the PEP model. The PEP model is about how do we give people quality clothing without breaking their bank. Are you in your business helping people? Are you giving that service that people can say there, that's why, and that person, that business, and so on. And you hear it from the pitches. The reasons for why they are doing what they're doing is very strong. And that's why I'm on air. And because of brands and personal development, I had to study further. And then I went to West Business School. I did my master's in strategic marketing, focusing on consumer behavior and brand development. Because without these two, right, how are we creating the next Apple? How are we creating the next global Taco Bell? But from South Africa. Nando's is global now, right? What is the story behind it? What is the architect? What is the science, right? And with that knowledge, how do I then use it on air to spot it, bring it on, bring it in a conversation that you can listen to, and then who knows? It might make you say, you know what? Yes, I'm a civil engineer. So what? But my passion, my love is here. You know? Fear stops us from doing so many things. But the more you hear people facing it, the more you become brave yourself. I know it's a long-winded answer, and you know I'm a communicator. I can talk the whole day. So I thought that should just kind of give you a glimpse of who and what I am.
What you guys think of that? We can end the session right now, right? And you know, I think testament to what Grootman is saying. You know, when we did, and it surprised me, right? When we did, when I was on the show, so we have this amazing candid chat. And he says, you keep mentioning you're doing this amazing work. These guys would actually love this part. And then he says, but who are you doing the work with? Because I see green guys. He says, no, say their name. Don't hide them. Because this show supports brands that are actively supporting small businesses. Yeah. So that whole entire 45 minutes, net bank, because it says this then will inspire the others to open up their eyes. But you know, one of the things I loved, I mean, in sort of building up to our chat, you know, you sort of mentioned, I think in one of the interviews you did some years back, that, you know, some of the things that crafted you to be the person that you are is that at the time where you were starting out your radio career, you were in, I mean, you had peers like your DJ Fresh, your DJ Spoos, your Kabzelas and the sorts in the same fraternity, and why. But you guys live by a simple motto that the listener is the customer and the customer is always right. And every single day, criticize me so that tomorrow I come back better. So in sort of growing entrepreneurial resilience, we've got, sometimes you get entrepreneurs or individuals that don't want criticism. And criticism is viewed as they hate me, you know. So, and sort of, how can you sort of give advice to that, and then sort of just take us through how that helps shape and build the amazing, extraordinary person you are?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, radio is, it's that every day in the moment is live, like banderas. You know, that's when you have banderas. This is your life. There's no rehearsal. It's a one-way street. There's no turning back. I can say something wrong now and the show ends and I'm out of a job. It is that cutthroat, right? And so you can't help but try also to play safe. But playing safe takes us nowhere, right? So criticism is the only thing that gives you feedback. People, when you're doing well, they won't say, hey, you're doing well. But when you do something wrong, just once, a simple case. I come to you and I tell you, okay, you had a pitch here and we were measuring you on 5 points. You are not great on this 1 point. And I give you all 4 points that you were great at. Which one are you going to remember? The one bad point. And that's going to nag at you. So my point is, learn to love criticism, because it is opening you up to something you're not seeing, something we call a blind spot, right? So talk about a blind spot. The other day I get a case. A blind spot is a feature I do on the show. So you write in, you have a problem, but you need a second opinion before you make a decision. This guy, his elder brother tells him he's lazy, he will never amount to anything. So he continues to say, but he is the bully in the family. He always does this to everybody. And we're like, okay, deal with toxicity, deal with people for what they are, right? But was he wrong in what he said? So you see now, let's remove, because it's easy to point a finger, but let's remove the person, but let's deal with you. Because you are the business, you are the vision, right? So if you're not going to self-reflect and work on what we call your weaknesses, you are going to fail the test. You really are. And some of us, we are on a journey of self-discovery. Life is about self-discovery. And self-discovery, unfortunately, doesn't just celebrate the positives. It uses the positive for you to face the negative. So the negatives are there for a reason, right? So for you, and this is a beautiful quote I had years ago, and it just makes sense more and more. How many of you like how stainless steel looks? I mean stainless steel. Eh? I know La Crusade has taken over, but AMC used to be the thing, right? Should I say AMC, Port, Hut? Which one are you going to choose? You'll easily say AMC, regardless of whether or not you can afford it. But are you aware what an AMC Port had to go through to shine the way it did? It had to stand the fire. That's how steel is made. For you to be a sharp, shining sword, for you to be an AMC Port, you better hang with irons in the fire. And fire, is it nice? But does it bring the good out of you?
Those are quotables. And you guys, I hope you're writing notes. Yeah, I know this is streamed live. You guys watching live, just nuggets and nuggets. You know, a lot of the time, you know, for an entrepreneur to sort of, an individual to sort of grow, they grow through, you know, the support that they get from back home. I think one of the things I picked up is how you consistently mention the support of Mesebin Musi. How impactful was your grandmother's role in developing you into the man that you've become?
I read about it in the book. I hope are you gonna give these books?
Yeah. So we've got some books,
Okay.
quite a number of books, courtesy of
Okay,
Pratap.
cool.
Let's give him a round of applause for that.
It's a beautiful book to read. I actually wrote it because I felt I needed to know what's in this book before I went to varsity or before I wrote my matric exam. So it's not only just about that stage in your life, but it's also about reflecting and self-correcting. Okay, so I speak about Sebina a lot, my maternal grandmother, because she became a foundation of what a gentleman is. Are you a gentleman? Right? I only knew, in fact, I now know what love is when I get food served to me on a tray unsolicited. It means I have done well. She wouldn't have done that for me if I didn't behave well. So you get what I'm saying? So that becomes immediately a foundation. So every single day it's about me standing up, raising the bar of being a better human being, right? And obviously my mom also came in, Betty, which is also dedicated to her, in terms of she was fearless, man. Always trying to break boundaries and so on. So there's that vision in her. And guess what? I married my mother. The woman I'm with, ooh. It's like every time I were like, whoa, okay. So next level. This is not enough. Oh, okay, next level. So I'm in that space. But let's bring it home. Support, don't define it by or in fact ascribe it to come from a particular person. If you're not getting support from your family, chances are God has already provided support from somewhere. Because that support can come from tea. That support can come from the very community you are serving. Can I be personal? I know this is an entrepreneurial thing, but there's no entrepreneur if there's no self-mastery. Oh, okay, sorry. Now, self-mastery speaks about knowing you. My father was not around. So, who was there? Stop looking at what was not there. Start looking at what is there. All right? So, here comes this man who is not your father. He's your elder brother. He is your uncle. He's your neighbor. Oh, sorry, he's your mom's boyfriend. You don't like him because he's not who you wanted to be, but he's there. And now you want to prescribe where support must come from? It is there. So if you're expecting love to come in red hearts, when it comes in the green heart of Nedbank, are you going to now deny it? Maybe you locked where Nabulelan because you saw a slogan, how can I help you? Like, these are the people. Right? Nedbank says, hey, Baba, come to the green side. And it only hit you when you started seeing how effortless their support was to your journey. Love is effortless. Support is effortless. Support comes even when you don't need it. What do you need now? And you're like, no, I'm stressed. No, but what do you need? I can go. Oh, no load shedding. But there's this guy there who can sort you out quickly. Isn't that support? Stop prescribing where it comes from or from whom it comes from. Open your eyes to see it for what it is. And now, that in itself, that's the genesis, the starting point of self-mastery. Being aware of your environment, being aware who's around you. And should you be open enough for that, oh man, the world is there. Will conspire. In fact, the world conspires for you the minute you start taking the first step.
So, years ago, you had the option to either take up a job offer with a chemical company that was 3 or 4 times, the salary that you would have gotten on radio.
Yeah.
You took the job with radio because it was a passion.
Yeah.
Now, oftentimes, we are put in a predicament, especially small businesses, the conversation around passion versus money. But, the visible evidence of it is that years later, this passion then turned into a beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, and like I said, it's in the book, you'll read about it. So here I am, chemical engineer, I'm doing my practicals, just as about to finish, YFM is about to start. The chemical industry that I work for says, here's 12,000 rands. We want you to be a junior technician with benefits, medical, you name it. YFM, on the other hand, I had to go and stand in queues in lines with Skido, Libo DJ Fresh, because we're auditioning, just like you see what Pop Idols is doing. And finally, I get the offer. But it's not a Monday to Friday gig, it's only a weekend gig. And they're paying me how much? 3,000 rands. Versus the 12,000 rands. I think you know which one I took. And now I had to go and tell Betty this. If there ever was a moment where a mother wanted to send you back to the sender, that was the moment. But that's the thing. Now, had you asked me this question then, I wouldn't have an answer. Right? But now I do. Guys, I do radio because I do not mind doing it for free. That's how you define passion. Stop looking at the dictionary. What is it that should you do and I pay you for it? You will easily say, no need, don't worry. That's your business right there. That's your money right there. You know why? Even when you're sick, you still have the fire to do it. We were asked, grade 10, choose a career. What are you going to be when you finish? And this guy walks in, I was doing my matric. says, what's a career? We all gave this beautiful definitions. And after we've all blabbed, he says, a career is something you don't mind doing 24 hours a day. And if I were to pay you for it, you'll actually laugh at me for wanting to pay for such an easy thing. Did you hear that? Yeah. Easy thing. Right? So it goes back to what? Can you imagine? I mean, right now I'm talking, right? Ne? You know how much I earn per hour on radio? Do you know?
What's his chair? Tell her.
All I'm saying is, damn, this is a good gig. I have conversations with different people every single day. I play music, something I love doing. I don't mind it at all. And then T-Bose, ching ching. I don't know how many of you were able to hear me when I had flew on air. Some people do. They can pick it up. What are you doing there? But you are sick. I'm like, my voice is sick. I'm not sick. The passion is strong enough to just do it. I think I can count the number of days where I didn't go to work because I was really, really bad. COVID, that was the first time. Because obviously I needed to, safeguard my colleagues from it. But two, I was not well, right? But honestly, I can count in one hand. And that's what passion does. That's what passion does.
I mean, over 20 years.
This October, I mean, if you can count back to 1997.
Of
broadcasting.
I think that deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
Not just broadcasting, but broadcast excellence. Now, we hear about the failure rates of small businesses. We hear about a lot of failure rates in different industries and different things. Over 20 years of consistency. What advice can you give small businesses that are in the room to consistently persevere? Because for me, you've lived through multiple eras. The Pentium 1 era, the pre-Pentium 1 era, the Pentium 4, the Macintosh, the iPad, all the way, the pad, pod, whatever pod, all the way to here, PlayStation. You've lived, and if over 20 years, still way relevant than before you started. That to me speaks not just to consistency, but ingenuity, being able to evolve yourself without losing your passion or who you are. And sometimes we lose ourselves trying to be things for people, customers, and our surroundings. How did you manage that?
All right, I'm going to use radio as the platform because that's the one thing I really know. And that's the ethos that drives how I do life. There are two things on radio, in radio broadcasting, as unwritten rules. You are as good as your last show. That's number one. Number two, the day you stop learning is the day you are dead. Do you see what I'm saying? So there are two things. Meaning, the minute you start working, the minute you say, now I'm starting to work, you are giving nothing but your best. That's it. Right? Two, the day you stop being curious about your customer, in my case, the listener, is the day I'm irrelevant. That show is not about me. When you listen to my show, it's not about me. I'm so curious about you. The first question I ask, hey, check in. How's your day? What do you have planned? What's on your mind? If nothing else, hey, I just saw the other day something like this. What do you have to say about it? And in you sharing your thoughts, I'm gathering information, insights about your world. Tomorrow, it's a topic, what you just shared with me, and so forth. So you need to have that attitude that even if this shop or this business closes today, but yesterday and a day before and a day before that, I gave it my best. And that you can sleep at night. And when the customer is not always right, let me change that. The customer is king, but the customer is not always right. Why is he king? Because even a king sometimes is wrong. Will seek the counsel of others for them to make a decision, right? So when that customer walks in, royalty is walking in. And when that royalty walks in, they say what they need to say. You know they're not always right, but you are curious about why are they so wrong about you today. And then you start asking relevant questions so that you peel this thing that they are telling you. That is insight about the next thing. Do not ever for a moment, right? The only thing in my business that I immediately shut out, right, is when I'm made to be a mannequin. I understand I work with people. Some they can't wait. They want to take a picture or whatever. But we are still human. You approach me and says, can we take a picture? Even better, because it opens up my room and your room for us to converse. But imagine you standing there and I just arrive and because that's not human interaction. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only thing where I say, this I cannot tolerate. Actually, even that guy says, hello, okay. Because I'm still curious about your behavior. And who knows, maybe you are behaving this way because of the treatment you got from somebody else, maybe who's in the same industry that I'm in. And when I ask you, you know what, it's easier when you say hello, because you're even going to get a smile, eh? Because it's just a natural thing. Like, treat us as individuals. Now they've learned something. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's the human interaction. And that's the beauty about that human interaction. You want to build resilience in your business. You want to always be ahead of the curve. I liked your story, by the way, when you said the reason you started it was to solve your own problem first with your daughter, right? And then you didn't stop there. You started asking questions with others, right? Are you experiencing the same thing with your daughter's hair, right? And then what can I do? You see, curiosity is the reason businesses stand. You are in Attersville today because of the curiosity that you had about what if. What if there's a need? There's only one way to find out. Let's go there. Right? Where's the paint guy? You started in your own space, Limpopo. You didn't know, but curiosity said go to Peli. What if? Nando's. What if we open in UK? Thabo jeans. Now we can stay at Victoria, yes. But what if we open in Hyde Park? Isn't it amazing to see white people wearing we, the people? Yeah, Thabo jeans. And you're like, hey. And now, even when you are wearing Thabo, right? People are stopping to say, I thought your name is Thabo. Because now they're realizing it's a brand. Right? And then soon, people are like, they're going to stop saying, what tea are you talking about? Are you selling tea? Soon they're going to realize it's an acronym standing for something bigger, a movement. Why? Curiosity. Guys, your business is people. Engage with them. There's something, there's something that we do in marketing called customer lifetime value. Customer lifetime value is a beautiful thing to know and understand because it puts a price on the head of a customer. Simple example. If, say, you are selling, an average client spends with you 50 rands a day, and they come, let's say, once a week, right? That's 200 rands a month, right? You multiply that by 12, right? 212, 2,400, right? Multiply that by 5 years, right? It gives you what? Say 10,000, right? And you say, the phone rings. Hello? Maybe there's a make outside. Sharp. That's 10,000 gone, Baba. Wake up. Your business is people. On my show, I did that, and I found out that every listener is worth 1,500 rands. Wake up. So me not picking up that phone, me not responding to that email, that tweet, I am gambling with 1,500 rands. Do it for your business. Don't pitch it high, pitch it low. If they're spending 50, says maybe 20. Multiply that by a month. Multiply that by 5 years, by 12 months, and then by 5 years. And then it will give you a figure. And then you'll start seeing how your mind changes in terms of how you treat your clients. Thank you. Yeah.
Round of applause. Oh. How's the chat going? Are you guys learning stuff? Are you guys writing down? You know, I mean, I look at your career, I look at how well maintained your career is, how you've maintained your brand and kept it very clean over the years. And I can't help but think, have you had tough times? Because you don't look like it. You know?
Who's that guy? Who's that guy? Tough times.
And what have those, moments? Have you had a moment where you felt like, nah, I'm not going to do this radio thing? Or I'm just going to give up on certain things? Or I'm just going through an extremely rough time?
Not only on... Not only on... Oh, was it? Okay. Not only that, but, professional and personal, you'll be challenged. Guys, there's one thing we reject very quickly. It's challenges. Challenges are necessary. I use the analogy of video games. I'm a boy, so I hope some girls do play video games as well. No, but you do, yeah. Body tell us Candy Crush. You never move to the next level until you finish this level. And you will never make it to the next level until you learn what this level needs to teach you for you to survive the next one and so forth, right? That's challenges. So meaning, challenge wakes you up to your potential. Because you never knew. You never knew. Or, I can really, if really it comes to a crunch, I can study from 8 until I go and write an exam the next day. No sleep. You didn't know until you were faced with that challenge, right? I was challenged in my personal life. My favorite girl, we got divorced because we later learned we were both not so mature. Thank God we found each other again and we remarried, right? So we are on part 2. Business. Radio presenters are like soccer players. You are expected to play, deliver. Who's the coach? Does the coach still want you to play? Isn't that a professional challenge? What if they come in and say, we don't like how you do it? And they do come in. But your work needs to speak for itself. I've had a few change of guards on Kaya. Some didn't even understand. One in particular didn't even understand why I am that guy for the station. But the work spoke for itself. So he had no choice but to let me be. Am I rattled? Knowing that he doesn't really believe in me the way he did? The way I thought he should? Right? Yes, I am. Is that a personal challenge? Of course it is. How do you survive that? Vision. Stay the course. Do what you do to the best of your ability. Stay curious. Nothing changes that. He became my biggest fan. He says, now I get it. I see why you're doing it. You know, there's nothing like when your boss, right? In your case, your client, comes to you for advice. Hey man, I think you have an answer, man. What should we do here? You're like, if I was in space, I'll do 1, 2, 3. Like, I knew it. And when you are sharing based on you and what you know. And that's how you use challenges, not only to push you forward, to help you learn, but there's one thing I must emphasize. Learn more about yourself, right, than the challenge. Because like I said, it's easy to point a finger, right? She's challenging me. Why? Okay, I'll deal with the challenge that she's thrown at me, but what did I learn about me? Maybe she reminds me of a bully. What did I learn about me? Can I face more challenges? Oh, this one, oh, definitely. Bring more. Actually, you must learn to invite challenges. Learn to invite them. Because Einstein said it, if your business idea doesn't scare you, the chances of it coming to fruition, slim. It's not bigger than you. Doesn't scare you, doesn't wake you up at night. Right? Right now, if you're thinking small, I can tell you now, you'll never sit on this chair and have Mbawula Chat with this man. Because soon, this man must be inviting you to say, this person attended Get Things Done seminar, tea seminar or workshop, right? And here they are today. They are a national brand or whatever the case may be. Why? Because your idea was bigger than you. Think small. Go ahead. Think small. And then you'll always be a participant instead of being the storyteller. What happens to people who are leaders? Aren't they the ones who jump into the water regardless of the temperature? When now while you are standing on some yeses, oh hona yang. Ha ha tsele bathong. Ha tswa mola ba, damn it, I did it. Whatever it is. I'm just using the cold water as an example of an uncomfortable situation. A challenging situation. You don't challenge yourself. You don't invite challenges. I can tell you now. Stage 1, I Candy Crush. Stage 1.
So, I've asked a couple of questions. I think now I'd like to, maybe, if there are 3 people, 1 question each. If you've got a question, comment, compliment. If you've got the lady, the gent, could you actually please just come? You know, here's the spot. No? This way. I've got the gent, I've got the lady. Anyone else? I've got the gentleman there. Yeah, just the 3. I'll give you the mic. 1 question each. You are very tight on time. Here you go, sir. You can just stand this side so the camera can.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Makatu Chibura, and I am the founder of a fast-growing candle company called The Light Candles. It's based in Soweto. I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm a huge fan of your show, Mr. T-Bose. And one of the greatest shows that I usually, or episodes rather, is the one that you did with Likau Sohana. I always keep going back to it because he represents the township dream, and how he's grown, yeah, it's so inspiring. And my question for you is, we're all hustlers. Everyone who's here, I believe they want to learn more about entrepreneurship and how to better themselves. My one question rather to ask is, how did you build your business acumen? Yeah.
Ooh. I'm not sure about business acumen because I did fail a couple of times. I can tell you now that had I allowed myself to fail, I would be far. Have I allowed myself to say, try? The worst that can happen is for you to fail. Just do it. Had I learned that then, instead of just trying to be successful, because, hey, Kitibos, if I fail, you know what I mean? Try. Just do it, man. Just do it. Do it.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Keleto. I am the founder of Kimi's Creations. I produce and make my own candles and diffusers as well. I do have a 9-to-5 job, a full-time job. And so my question is, how do I make myself accessible? Because you spoke about, having customers that are willing to drive to you, having customers that are willing to not go to Woolies or at home and buy the diffuser, but to support my business. I do have customers like that, but I still have potential customers that want to support me, but they don't know what it smells like. So my question is, how do I make myself accessible? Because there are events like women empowerment events that I go and exhibit, sell at, but I think I just need to be more accessible where people are able to reach me and support my business.
Okay, it goes to, in marketing, there's something called the 4 Ps. One of them is place, as in how do people access you. I think you should use the tools that are available to you right now. I mean, social media is available to you. And I will even go as far as saying, create samples that are just so readily available and have somebody, a student maybe, that you can get and put them on a salary that they know. Their job is to basically courier, even if it's via Postnet or whatever. Just use what you have. The best advice I ever heard, and I wish I had that much, much earlier, start with where you are, right? As in, what do you have? Use that and try and get, because all you need to do is for people to have an experience with what you have while you're keeping your 9-to-5. This business must push you out of your 9-to-5. You know what I mean? So there's only one way to do that. Get this product out there somehow. Like I said, use what you have. Social media. You want to test it, you want to smell it, I can send it to you. I can send you a sample. And people love that because you're there and you're able to answer. I mean, right now you can even automate WhatsApp messages, right? Have that and let it answer. Give me your address, I'll send you a sample. It's an immediate answer, and then you've got somebody who's just looking at that and they just courier all your samples to your people. And that immediately generates you a business. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sanbanani nonke, greetings and blessings to you all. By way of introduction, my name is Bridget Majuta and I am a Mr. Soweto finalist. In addition to that, I've got an award-winning book. It's titled When Married Life Lifes You, Take Your Power Back. So, there's a beautiful ending to your story. You took your power back. My question is to you, Ntate Thbose Mokwele. Okay, so my ultimate goal with my book is to decrease the divorce rate, right? It's bigger than I could ever dream or imagine, but that is ultimately what I want to do. I want people to be happily married and all of that. Like my parents have been for almost over 4 decades. Wow. So I've been trying to get my book into the government so that it gets taught in schools because we go by Isesimans, right? How did you overcome not taking no for an answer when doors got shut in your face?
Oh, trust me, the nose I got, ne? Yeesh. What you must do, and this is what I did. I started writing my book in 2015, only released it November last year. You see how long it took me. But only when I felt I was ready now for my story to get out there, I went to people who were in this business before me. And obviously I used my networks like I was telling the lady just now. I went to Lazy Makoti first. I said, Morao, how do I do this thing? And she was like, this is how. And she introduced me to her network, which is something that your MC said. Your network is your power. And then that network led me to the right people, to the publisher. Still, the publisher nearly said no. Nearly said no. But my story on why the book, because it was really about me trying to tell a story that will make the other, right, know what I know now much earlier. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's bigger, like you're saying, it's bigger. I'm not counting how many people. I just want it to be out there and be shared, right? And you must also do the same. So, like I said, stop prescribing where you should come from. Maybe you want a particular store to sell your book and that they don't want to. There are other avenues. Actually, bookstores don't sell books. Authors sell books. You being here, having your book here, and telling people about it, even if 2 people sell it, those 2 people become a multiple. So just keep telling your story. And create environments. Ask Bulelani to help you. Create environments where you call people, be it 10. Then come, they sit with you, and then you talk about the book. Even if those 2 people out of 10 just say, hey, I want this book, that 2 is enough. You move on to the next one. Sometimes we put the bar so high, we chase it based on our timing. We forget there's God's timing. So allow your race to be. That's why he said. That's why your prayer must be guide my steps. And then you'll see His power. So allow that.
No, I can't. He must leave. And he's got a commitment. His manager told me. I said I will make sure he has to leave in the next 3 minutes.
No, but thank you.
I'd love for him to answer, but
yeah.
So, I think I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for your time. 50 books. Pause for, we'll see how we distribute in actual fact. But I think for me as being...
I have 16 more in the car, so
yes,
you can bring
done.
them. Yeah.
Done. But I think from the bottom of my heart and a lot of amazing young entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in this room and all stakeholders, thank you. You're not just, the nuggets, the lessons, a living legend in our time who's living. And I think, I see the Mark Zuckerberg stories, the guys overseas, but I think it's, this platform and this engagement has always been about us celebrating our own who've gone the journey and paved the way in their time while they are still alive. So I want us to do something practical, get everyone to just stand on their feet, and I want us to just appreciate this amazing legend who was, because we appreciate you, who's here with us today. If you've got a phone, it's a moment in time. You've always heard him on radio, but engagements like this never happen. You capture this moment. We give him a cheer, we give him a loud applause. We appreciate the legend that he is because he's the gift that keeps on giving. Literally, the guys you mentioned, you go to Theo, you go to talk, ask about him. They impact, they influence. Not just someone who just said, I'm going to render my gift for others. I'm going to make sure that others succeed in their space. Let's just give an amazing round of applause. We appreciate you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Go, you can do better. You can do better. You can do better. Now you can. We want you to smell the flowers while you are still alive, and know that we appreciate you. And know that there's 100,000 to millions others who appreciate you, who are not here, but the over 400 people that are here as a representation of the millions of lives you've touched and you've impacted. We appreciate you. We love you. Let's give them a crazy round of applause. And then, just to close off, what then would be your message to the amazing young guys in the room and the ones watching live nationwide?
The hashtag is? That second one.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thabo Tbose Mokwele. You can do better than that. Oh, here's some gifts. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Thabo Tbose Mokwele. Let's give Thank you so much. Okay, sing a shot. Please, we need to capture you with your flowers. A solo. Yeah.